Okay. Hello, hello.
What is it, 60s?
It's in the 50s now. 54, yeah.
Okay, it was like 20s here, 30s here. The buildings there are not like insulated, right? They're like stone and. Yeah. What do you talk work?
We're gonna start rolling with 1 mil. Go sit. We're gonna start it. Yeah. I'm not gonna introduce. We're gonna do the full introduction. Just say hello. Guys, why don't you get something to eat in the meantime? We're in the interest of time, just like Hanukkah candles. Feel free to get something to eat while we're lighting Hanukkah candles. We'll get started in just a minute.
There were so many when they burned them, just smoking.
All right, Hanukkah Sameach, Zois Hanukkah. I'd like to call upon Rabbi Cohen to please light nearest Hanukkah.
I already lit the menorah at home, so I'm not going to be making brachos. But after I light the menorah, we're going to light all the candles, then we can all sing together Hanero Talalu and the first stanza of Malas and Sword. ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על ידי כהניך הקדושים וכל שמונת ימיך לכהנים ולתפילה לקודשים, ואין לנו רשות להשתמש בהם אלא לראותם בלבד, כדי להודות ולהודות לשמך הגדול ניצח ועל נפלאותיך ועל ישועתך. מעוז ישועתי לפניי לשבח, תיכון בית תפילתי ושם תודה נזבח, ליעץ אחיד מטבח מסורב נבח, אז אגמור בשיר מזמור חנוכת המזבח, אז אגמור בשיר מזמור חנוכת המזבח.
הכרנו באוניברסיטת אריאל בשומרון, למדנו כלכלה ומנהל עסקים. אוריאל היה חבר מאוד טוב שלי, כאילו ממש, זה כאילו חברות ממש עמוקה. הרגשתי איתו הכי בבית. זה אחת הסיבות שידעתי שאיתו אני צריכה להתחתן, כי איתו הייתי בן אדם יותר טוב.
ילד עבר זמן, נסעת לחפש רחוק מכאן, ואני מחכה לך. כל מטוס שטס בשמיים, כל כוכב מאיר בעיניים, מזכיר לי אותך, נחליאלי לפני הגשם, צרצרים בשעות הערב, תמיד יחכו לך. ילד כששקט, אני יושבת במרפסת.
אני חושב שאחד הדברים שתמיד עינו את אוריאל, זה לא משנה לאיפה הוא היה מגיע. תמיד כולם אהבו אותו, כולם רצו להיות בחברתו. אוריאל תמיד איכשהו היה מספר את הסיפורים הכי מצחיקים וכולנו היינו סביבו בשביל להקשיב לו.
הייתה לו דאגה כנה לכולם, היה לו חוש צדק מפותח, לדאוג שכולם יהיה להם בסדר.
הוא היה הרבה יותר מביס, הוא היה כמו אח. כאילו, הוא היה בן אדם של דוגמה אישית, כאילו, בן אדם ללמוד ממנו.
אוריאל זה פשוט לתת מכל הלב, לעשות למען אחרים. ברגע שהוא מזהה שמישהו צריך משהו ויכול לעזור, הוא יהיה שם יעשה הכל עם חיוך, בתחושה שברור שזה הדבר הכי מובן מאליו שהוא יעשה.
אוריאל היה גאון עולם. אני ממש זוכרת שכאילו כולם רצו רק לשבת לידו ולהעתיק ממנו, והיינו רבים מי איתו בכיתה במבחנים, והייתי אומרת להם, תקשיבו טוב, הוא בעלי, זוזו מפה, אז היא יושבת ליד אוריאל.
אתה זוכר, כשהיינו עוד קטנים, היינו מסתתרים מאחורי חציר. סלי עגבניות, ברוח של אוקטובר, שורקת באוויר. שדה הקרב יהפוך לשיבולים, או תראה שנחזור ונגדל פה ילדים. שדה הקרב יהפוך לשיבולים, אנשים יפים ימשיכו לרקוד על השבילים, יכתבו כאן עוד שירים ואלפי
חנה, כמו שאתם יודעים, היא בחורה, איך נאמר, צבעונית, אנרגטית, לא שומרת בבטן, מרוקאית כזאת. אוריאל כהן הוא כמו איזה, הוא היה עוגן שלנו, מה שאני חושב עליהם כזוג, אני מדמיין את אוריאל כהן כמו עוגן. יכלה לסמוך עליו, גבר.
גידלתי פרקן על הצעקות, נה 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 נה. עבדה הדרך אל הכפר, הדרך בה ראיתי איך הכל נגמר.
אוריאל היה גאה באשתו אחת לישילה חנה, ובשתי הבנות המסוכות שלו, שהוא מביע. הוא אהב אותם בצורה שבאמת אין לתאר, וזה היה ממש מדהים לראות את זה.
לא יודע, ספר בדיחות, באמת, לא יודע, צוחק על חנה.
אני חושב שאוריאל הכי גאה במשפחה שלו, באישה שלו, בילדים שלו.
כמו כל בן אדם יש כמה אוריאל. יש את האוריאל הצוחק והמגחך והציני, ויש את האוריאל הרציני. בעיניי האוריאל שנתן לבת שלי להיות מאושרת. הוא הפך אותה לאישה מופלאה, מאושרת.
והמדינה הייתה מעל הכל. גם מעליי. מה-7 הוא ירד. ב9 לאוקטובר אח שלי התחתן. עד הרגע האחרון הוא אמר לי שהוא לא חוזר, והוא עשה לי הפתעה והגיע עם המדים. וכשהייתי בוכה לו כשהוא היה חוזר לצבא, הוא אמר לי, תקשיבי חנה, את לא מבינה, אין לך מה להתחזק. צריכה להבין שבעלך עוסק במלחמת מצווה. במחיית זכר עמלק. מבינה את זה?
היה אפשר לשמוע בקול שלו שהוא מבין שהוא חלק ממשהו גדול. אפשר לשמוע את האנרגיות שלו, את הרצון שלו לתרום ולעשות. אני חושב שזה הכי מאפיין אותו, זו המורשת שתישאר איתו.
הייתי בעזה, ממשימה למשימה, לא שמעתי חדשות, ולמעלה במגנן, עמד חייל שמע כבר במגנן ושמע רדיו.
7 בבוקר אמא שלי ראיתי שיחת טלפון.
פתאום אני שומע ידיעה ראשונה בחדשות.
אוריאל כהן הלך.
אוריאל כהן מצור הדסה, בדיוק הסתיימה הלוויה של אוריאל כהן מצור הדסה. הייתי איתו באותו ג'יפ שזה קרה, וידעתי שהוא נפגע ישר. והעברנו אותו לטיפול שמטפל בכיר, ותוך כדי היה שיח בקשר, מסוק עניינים, ובאיזשהו שלב המטפל אמר שאין צורך במסוק, והבנתי שאיבדנו אותו.
כשדפקו בדלת ב2:30 בלילה אצל חנה, ושראיתי בעינית 3 חיילים, חשבתי שאני בסרט.
צהרי יפול מצלקי עיני ועיניהו יבוא אנוכי בצער החלצהו נפשי לאדוני משומרים אל הבוקר שומרים אל הבוקר יש מרבה מעורר בעולם ולעולם היה כבר משתפר מדבר ותאומר ותעשר רווח והצלה נענו חלוקו ישראל בימו אמן יתרון לחיי עולמה ומחלק על
אוריאל שלנו, אני מבטיח לך לשמור על כולם ולנסות לתת להם את האהבה והכוח שנחוצים בזמן הקשה הזה.
אלוהים תמיד לוקח את הטובים, אבל זה מה שקרה. אנחנו נהיה חזקים, וכמו תמיד אני אעשה כל מה שאני יכולה בשביל לשמור על המשפחה שלנו חזקה. הנה, תני חיבוק לאבא, מהר, חיבוק. שירוש, שירוש. נכון, אנחנו לא נותנים לאבא לחזור?
הוא היה אבא, וואו איזה אבא הוא היה.
זוכרת דברים שאמרת, כמו ים שזוכר את החוף. גלים מגלים את הרוח, כמו שהלב יגלה מחור. הלילה מאיר את הבוקר, שמאיר אותי ממיטתי. ואיך כבר אוכל עוד לברוח מזיכרונך אל שפיותי. עד אחרי הנצח, עד לפני הכל, ניפגש תראה בסוף, זמן הוא ימח לחוף. עד קצוות הרוח, עד יכבה האור, ניפגש תראה בסוף, זמן הוא ימח לחוף, תראה בסוף.
הרגע שנצור בליבי זה הלידה של שיר.
כוכב שוב נפל בשמיים,
וראיתי את האיש הזה, איך הוא מתנהג לאשתו בזמן לידה, איך הוא דואג לה, איך הוא מתרגש. זה היה רגעים שראיתי את האיש הזה כמו מלאך.
עד אחרי הנצח, עד לפני הכל, ניפגש תראה בסוף, זמן הוא ימח לחוף. עד קצוות
אני חושב שהמורשת שאוריאל משאיר זה הרצון שלו תמיד לתרום ולעשות. העובדה שיש מישהו, כמו הרבה גיבורים אחרים במדינה, שפשוט עצרו את החיים שלהם, ירדו דרומה, נלחמו, פשוט באו לעזרת עם ישראל.
הוא משאיר אחריו שתי בנות מהממות שהן דומות לו בטירוף.
אוריאל משאיר אחריו ציווי בשבילנו להיות אנשים טובים באמת.
המורשת העיקרית של אוריאל בעיניי זה להסתכל על האחר, לדאוג לאחר.
הוא משאיר עם ישראל שחי עם ארץ משלו ועם שהוא חזק.
עד קצוות הרוח, עד יכבה האור, ניפגש תראה בסוף, זמן הוא ימח לחוף, תראה בסוף.
אם היית יכול להעביר לאוריאל מסר אחד, מה היית אומר לו?
שהוא חסר לנו ברמת מטורפות, בטח ובטח שהוא חסר למשפחה שלו.
קודם כל שאני אוהבת אותו, שאני גאה בו.
אחד שאני מתגעגע, והשני שאנחנו ממשיכים את הדרך שלו, לא נעצור, למען העם ולמען המדינה.
הייתי אומרת לו תודה על כל מה שהוא נתן לנו כמשפחה ב10 השנים שהכרנו אותו.
הסיפורים שלו, האנרגיה שלו, וגם שנה אחרי, זה פשוט לא נתפס.
שאנחנו מתגעגעים עליו.
אז אני זוכר
יחסר לי האדם שהוא חברות איתו, השיחות, להתייעץ איתו, לשמוע ממנו את השיח הזוגי שלו, היה פשוט ללמוד.
תמיד יכולת כאילו ללמוד עוד משהו ממנו, כשהוא היה נכנס אז תמיד היה נכנס איתו עוד משהו.
מאוד חסרה לי הנוכחות שלו בכל מיני סיטואציות שקורות.
יחסר לי החיוך שלו, השמחה שלו, החום, אהבה. הוא היה בן אדם מאוד דואג ואכפתי, אז כל האהבה שלו היא תחסר. זה חלל במשפחה.
אני יודע שזכיתי.
כל החיים שהוא היה אוריאל נותן ומיוחד, והוא מת באוריאל שכאילו כאילו הוא ישב בעמר, בח'אן יונס, בחושך, בהכי גאווה שיש בעולם, ועם זה אני שלמה, כאילו עם זה מה שמצליח להחזיק אותי. הידיעה הזאת שהוא רואה שלם במותו, ממש.
ואני יודע שזכיתי לאהוב.
Taking a breath, deep breath after this really powerful movie called Uriel. So, Chag Chanukah Sameach, and thank you so much for everybody that came, for joining us for Uriel's Cohen Memorial event. Tonight, we don't just mark a date. We capture the memory of a true hero, my first cousin, Uriel Cohen, who was like a brother to me. Was killed during a mission in Gaza on December 19th, 2023, just before his 34th birthday. We are gathered here today on the 8th day of Hanukkah, which is Uriel's Hebrew birthday. I intentionally chose this date, and not the date he fell, to remember Uriel's life. There is no better opportunity than Hanukkah to remember the bravery of the heroes of Am Yisrael, such as Uriel and his friends. These are our generation's hero, Harugei Malchut, who now sit close to Kisei HaKavod, the throne of glory, telling the zchuyot of Am Yisrael to Ribon Kol HaOlamim. As a family, our narrative is clear. We are here to celebrate his life and the light he brought into the world. The light never turns off. It keeps burning in each of us. This perspective extends to all of our young, holy IDF soldiers. We celebrate the beauty of the lives they led, their legacy, their message, rather than the tragic way they died. Uriel deeply impacted my life. Although he was technically my cousin, he became my brother when my parents adopted him and his siblings after his parents were involved in a tragic car accident. Growing up together, we were inseparable. We loved to laugh. We talked a lot for hours and celebrate family time. Uriel was a boy who truly loved life. He brought joy to everyone who knew him and possessed a sweetness of personality that left a lasting impression. He enjoyed the small moments of joy and filled our lives with so much happiness and laughter. I remember so clearly the Shabbatot going to shul and watching Uriel go up to the bima with his father to say Birkat Kohanim, standing there looking like Mamash Malach, angel Uriel, in that powerful, holy moment, as he spread his hands to bless the kahal. It was so beautiful. Uriel was a man of pure, non-stop giving, netina and sofit. From a very young age, he would share everything he had just to see the other person happy. He wanted to add as much as good to the world as possible. His generosity truly had no limit. In his noble way, he was a natural leader with an infectious smile and a joyful spirit. He balanced this with a deep life of faith, always finding time to learn Torah as a student in Yeshivat Kerem Beyavne. After our grandfather passed away, Uriel and his best friend Rhea would walk every Shabbat morning from Givat Shmuel to Petach Tikva to make Kiddush for our grandmother so she wouldn't be alone. That's how he was. He was just such a good person. Uriel was a man, he was a man of remarkable intellect earning finance degrees on the Dean's Honor List while remaining deeply humble. On Simchat Torah, October 7th, he kissed his wife Hannah and his 2 small daughters goodbye to become one of the first responders in the South. He eventually led his Givati unit in Gaza all the way to the Mediterranean shore, to what they called Nova Beach. And then, even after a brief rest at home, his devotion was unshakable. When his wife pleaded for him not to return to Gaza, he calmly told her, "Those are my brothers in arms out there. They need me." And he returns to the battlefield. On the evening of December 19th, he stepped forward one last time to lead a mission, and from that mission he won't return. Today, Uriel's rest in Ha'atzah in Jerusalem. And we pray that the memory of this pure soul, this angel, continues to bring strength and blessing to all of Am Yisrael. I chose to make this memorial event public because I believe that Uriel when he fell, he was no longer just a private individual. He became the heart of our entire nation, Klal Yisrael. Heroes like Uriel and his brothers in arms did not hesitate. They ran towards the fire. They gave their last breath for our sake. Through their sacrifice, they have taught us, this generation, the true meaning of Mesirut Nefesh. Their memory is no longer just a family's grief. It is national treasure, a national treasure. Today, we celebrate Hanukkah as proud Jews because of heroes like Uriel. Their courage sends a clear message to the world. We cannot be defeated. We stand tall and proud, knowing we are protected by the guardians of our nation and God, those holy warriors who fight for us in Israel, instead as a shield for Jews everywhere. In their sacrifice, those holy souls do not ask us to mourn in darkness. They demand that we live in the light. On this final night of Hanukkah, when the light is at its brightest, we remember that Uriel and his brothers in arms are the reason that light still burns. We honor them tonight with the fierce pride of nation that survives because of their courage. Their legacy is the very freedom we celebrate. Uriel, Mazal Tov on your 36th birthday. Your light will continue to shine in our hearts forever. Here we have some pictures, photos that you can see Uriel's like all the presentation that you can see from Simchat Torah until the last moment. Okay, so here. This is the kibbutzim. Uriel got the call from his commander, and he left to the kibbutzim. He collected bodies inside bags. For like 2 weeks. That's what he did. Afterwards, he got into Gaza with his unit, Givati unit. After a few weeks, they got into the Nova Beach with it to the shore. Here is Uriel in the middle. Those are 2 girls we saw before in the video. On December 11th, 2023, he went back to Gaza, and this is his, from the right, it's his driver. He was there, he got killed. This is a Hummer that they drove in. They went to rescue missions, basically. And This is Khan Yunis. That's where their mission stopped. And all the rest, is that's December 19th, December 20th, all the newspapers in Israel that showing his beautiful face. This is me and Uriel with my uncle Ami. This is my birthday. We used to celebrate our birthdays together all the time. Purim. ישיבת קרב ביבנה. Uriel is making milut chasadim with his soldiers, bringing them a meal to all of the soldiers. And later you will find like a QR code also at the entrance for Hannah and two daughters. They don't know that I'm doing it, but if you want to support, it will be nice. We have now an interview that I made with So this is an interview with Elior Levi. He was with Uriel in the same mission. It's his first time to share his story. He was post-trauma, so it's his first time. This is the interview that we.
Hi everyone, my name is Margalit Mareski. I'm here today as the first cousin of Uriel Cohen, who fell in Gaza on December 19th, 2023. Joining us here is Eliyahu Levi, a sergeant major who fought by Uriel's side from October 7th until his final moments. Elior, you have said this isn't just a story about soldiers, but about all Jewish people. Elior, why is it so important for you to share this message with the Lower Merion community here?
First of all, before we start about the question, I want to say a few words, if it's okay. So good evening to everybody, and thank you for your everybody, and thank you very much to your inviting here, and about the privilege to be here and tell my story. My name is Eliyahu Levi. I'm a fighter and in Givati unit. I'm a father, a son of a family, and basically a human being. I will gonna tell my story from my side. From start 7 October, I have a regular life, work, family, routine. After that, between good service and the reality. In the morning of September, 7 October, everything is changed. Not because what happened, because the understanding something is broken. We to Gaza and for another war and to protect our and continue to go inside Gaza, but we pay very hard and very strong, and we paid a very big price. We lost a friend, and we lost people that not gonna come back, and one of them is Uriel Cohen, Hashem Yikom Damo. Uriel was not a regular fighter. He was very strong and brave. he was a quiet guy with a big heart, and the guys that say something, and when they say something, it's very important. So all the time he was quiet, but when he say something, it was exactly the right thing, and everybody listened to him. This is why he was a good commander. And I choose to come here and to speak to your community, Jewish community, that live very far from here in Israel, from where the war is happened. And to my eyes, this story about a soldier of Israel or something like that, it's a story of Israel for all the Jewish in all the world. And you guys of the community of Pennsylvania, it's a part of that. And maybe you're not wearing a uniform and you're not raised to reality of IDF or all these securities and all what we have in here, but the connection and the worry and the care and the responsibility of you guys and of all the Jewish in all the world, it's our connection, and it's very important to us. So this evening, I'm not here to speak about politics and not speak about all the worst thing that happened to us. I'm here to share my story, my shlichut, and to that our laws, and specifically our meaning, and our meaning. So let's start about the question, and we're going to stay and tell my story.
So thank you so much for sharing this. This is really powerful. We have no words of like just gratitude towards what you and your friend and Uriel and did there for us as a nation and as people that living in Israel. It's really unbelievable and beyond appreciation. So we really honored to have you here telling the story about Uriel. I want you to feel comfortable to talk about the story of what happened, and you can stop whenever you want, because I want you to feel comfortable to tell the story from your point of view, and I know that there are many hard moments, so just share with us what happened.
We try to, from my side, so if I go in specifically the what happened with Uriel, it was like a regular night. Every night we go inside Gaza. Our mission is to protect about the cars and the trucks that put guns and rockets and food and all the logistic. And our team and Uriel team supposed to protect about this, how we say, shoyara?
It's like few cars, one after the other.
Exactly. Inside Gaza, we go in the night.
I don't know the exact word.
I hope
few army cars, one behind the other, they're going for a mission.
One is understanding. So we're going in the night, exactly. Very dark. We call Amral, it's like mishkefet that can see in the night.
What time is it?
And in the night, every night we go in when it started to dark. Let's say we go inside 9 in the evening, and we go outside a few minutes before the sun is shining. So every night we go in, we do it, and we protect about the cars and all the logistic. And this night was a horrible night. It's very hard to tell the story. My car, my Hummer, was before Uriel Hummer. So my car was here, and Uriel was behind of me, maybe 5 to 10 meters. We driving very close to each other and very fast in the night, because we don't want to to get some attack or something like that. And someone started shooting on us, machine gun, very big machine gun. I think maybe like 300 bullets in one shot. It's an automatic machine gun. And I see it on the back of me, all the shooting, and immediately I want to know that we go inside to a place that's supposed to protecting us on our other team in IDF. So I'm not sure if it's the enemy or maybe it's someone from us. It's called dudes. Dudes, it's meaning IDF were shooting on our brothers. A few minutes, the commander of all the dude tell to us, don't shoot, stop on the side and be quiet. And we're looking for someone to shooting on us. And we're looking for someone that's shooting again, but nobody. And on the radio, tell us we have one flower. In the radio, the name flower is meaning we have someone hurt. And we waiting a few minutes. The ambulance of our team come in and take the armor from behind me. It was Uriel, and he was alive for maybe 30 minutes. And the commanders want to, in the 1 second, we're supposed to continue because we have maybe 30 car inside, and it's very hard to make U-turn back to Israel and to put the Uriel in the hospital. Someone like airplane come to take him to the hospital.
On an helicopter.
Helicopter, yeah. And the commander say, no problem, we're gonna do it. I know it's gonna hard, but we're gonna going back. We start going back. We U-turn all the 30s car. I'm talking cars. It's here like car, but it's a truck, very big truck with a heavy bag, and we U-turn. Maybe 15 minutes driving.
While active shooting, they're still shooting in the air.
No, the shooting is stopped, and we realize after we U-turn, so it's our team shooting on us. This is what happened. It was very sad, the story, and we're going back, and before we get into the helicopter, the doctor said that Uriel is not with us anymore. And what is very important to say about the story, that Uriel is not supposed to be in this mission. And usually we're doing a one-night mission and other team doing it the next night. But in this mission, Uriel was volunteer because his friend's supposed to go out, and so he go to this mission, and his commander, Uriel, supposed to usually be sitting in the front near to the driver. The was sitting in, if you want, the car and our team, so I'm gonna sit on the back. And and it's not regular, you know. Small commander and big commander with the officer usually sit in the front. Every soldier know that. But in that situation, his commander only this day told him, look, I know you are very special to drive in the night and lead our car. You're gonna lead it. And you know, from God, this happened to him. And I'm talking about 300 shooting, and only one bullet find the rocket of Uriel, and all the others on the back side, on the head and the backs of the team on the back. But no one was hurt. I think it's a miracle for everybody, also for me. Also for the car from the back, also the people, the soldier in the same car. But it's a very strong story. I think it's come from God. I don't know anything to say about it. I don't think there's any other options. It's a very big miracle. So this is the story about Uriel, and what's important for me is to memorial his name.
Thank you so much for sharing it, Uriel. It's a really moving story.
You're welcome.
Do you want to take a moment, because this is really, it's a lot to take.
Yeah.
It's really hard moments that you were there, losing a friend, and even like losing your life almost. How today you are remembering Uriel, how you are remembering him as a person, as a friend.
Every year we go in, we pray on him. In every prayer we remind him. He's almost every night in our dreams, and he's a person that I never forget. Why I'm saying that? Because I have a lot of attacking in the war, but that one was very strong, and I think I feel in this moment that my life is gonna take, and in 1 second I didn't feel any emotion, anything. I just focused on the target and what's gonna happen, but it's changed me. Something happened to me. If on this time, it's very good to say, I have PTSD, post-trauma, and this happened from this war because I saw my life taking a lot of time, and now I am a father for 2 small baby and a husband and wife, and so this war is changing me, but it was very important to me to be there for all the hostages. One of the hostages is a big friend of me, and his name is Elkanah Buchbut, and I worked there more than 300 days, and maybe I look young, but I'm 37 years old, so it's changed me. I come to home, and it was very hard to continue from the routine, the life. They fired me from the work. I didn't work a lot of time. I was depressed, and now I'm in a very good part in my life because that happened also from God. If it's not happened, maybe I didn't know about my problem. But now I'm rising from this, and I'm shining from the trauma. I would say it's micha. I'm growth from the trauma, and this is the reason also that I'm telling the story, part of the story, and it's very important also for me and for my health, and also to share and memorial my friend Uriel.
Thank you so much for doing it. Really, it's we can't take it for granted, Uriel, that you are sharing this. I wanted to ask you how can a Jewish person in Lower Merion here can be a part of this tragedy, of not just this tragedy, a close tragedy of all IDF soldiers that just fell in the past war, like Uriel, and sacrificed their lives for such a meaningful cause.
First of all, to remind and don't forget what happened to us, and tell our stories and to your children and your nephew and your friend, and all the world need to know about these stories, and for sure to continue to keep the united of Am Israel, even in the hard times. It was very warm, the feeling that we feel inside Gaza when we know people are donates a lot of things to help us to continue and to be strong inside, and it was very warm. I was inside and I see all the love united with Israel, Am Israel, only not in Israel, all the Jewish, and wow, I feel like the Mashiach almost come. This is what I feel.
I agree with you, and you also told me before when we spoke, this is our resilience. It's like that everybody are together behind the same concept, and we are united. Together, it's giving you strength in the battlefield, and it's not for granted. So people here needs to hear that, because they literally tried everything they could. People called me and asked me like, oh, does your cousin needs like, any equipment? And I remember that I called Uriel and I said, we are trying together like a group of people from our community to donate those tactic gloves. And Uriel said, we don't need, we have so much. Everybody wants to give us. They're showering us with stuff. So it's like, really, it's amazing. And you should know that this community that we're speaking with now, they with you with all their heart, and they want just to give, not just money, they want to give support and whatever they can. So that's why I'm asking you this. And they did so much during all this war.
I'm sure.
Yeah, another thing I wanted to ask you is about, just a minute, what is the most important message that we as Jewish people in the Galut, here in Lower Marion community, can take away with us from your talk, from your exposure to us about your story?
That behind every family, every friend, every life that cut, we and you have the responsibility and to continue and to know that after the war it's not stopped. We must to continue and to remember. And I think that's it.
Elior, thank you so much for sharing. I would like to ask you, where were you when it started on October 7th? What was your mission until you got into Gaza?
So where it was when it started, Simchat Torah, I was in my mother-in-law celebration, and my phone is ringing, and before it's ringing, my like feel it's something happened. Usually nobody called me, and I really think something bad happened, and my say to me, take your unit and your stuff and come to the south. We have a big event and many people is dying, and the phone, and I look at my wife and my children and my family and leave everything and go. They tell me, go, do what you need to do. Go what you are trained to do all your life. This is the money time. And I take my vest. I have everything is ready for me, a big bag with everything inside, just for, we go to the south, and I think what's very, very hard to do what we do, and we clear all Israel, we go inside. And my unit, the Givati unit, is the first unit that go inside Gaza. We are the fire, okay? Because we have, it's called the Merim, we have like hammers, big, so we go inside, and our mission was give the rockets, the food, to the warriors on the first fire.
Right, Elior, is that a rescue hammer? What is it exactly?
It's like, but less, and only automatic machine gun, not with like a tank, and it's very, you can put inside maybe 13 soldiers, and you can go inside, and the thing that can happen, it's RPG or that's it. Only RPG can, but even 50% of that maybe not. So this is how we continue in the war. With these Namers, we just go inside and all the terrorists go because they know they cannot do anything to us. So we go with the Namers and we go inside the houses, we clear the houses, we control the houses, and like that we continue part of part until we clear all Gaza. Almost all Gaza.
So in the kibbutzim, what you do exactly? You helped, like,
Look,
what was your mission there?
The mission of all the people go in the south to, first of all, before to take all the hostages and all the people that inside, you know, the people, and kill the terrorists, of course. And after we clear all the area, we help to pick up bodies and yeah, you know, I think you know where the story is. I think I not to talk about less. And that's it. And we do inside. We have a very big goal to protect our life, our families, our friends, to back the hostages. To, you know, it's like so this is why Am Israel is so strong, and we have a big faith. Big faith. Everybody is. Mamash.
Because of your shtickut, that's very so strong. And we are behind you, but you guys are the heroes.
Everybody is the heroes. Everybody. All Am Israel is the heroes. Everybody do what he can do. You know, I train into this part of war, but everybody do something. Even the people that cannot do anything, they do something. So for Am Israel, so it's a thing, because when we are united, we are the strong people in the world, the strong in the world. Nobody can break us when we are united. And this is what I'm thinking from you guys to remember, to be united, even in the part life, the hard situation. Try to be together.
Yeah.
And I think it's very strong to take this in Hanukkah. We are in Hanukkah right now, and it's very strong. Hanukkah, Am Israel was united, and we continue. They always continue with us for 8 days.
That's true. That's a very strong message. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's
It is my honor to introduce Rabbi Cohen, the assistant rabbi of Lower Marion Synagogue. Rabbi Cohen also understands the deep pain of personal loss in this war, as his first cousin Zachariah, alav shalom, fell in while leaving behind a wife and 3 young children, including a baby. We are deeply grateful for Rabbi Cohen for sharing his words of Torah and reflection with us today, as we honor the memory of those who we have lost.
Hi everybody. Actually, can you hear me okay? I prefer not to use the microphone. Thank you for the introduction, and welcome to those of you who are visiting us from out of town. Hanukkah is in some ways a very difficult time to have a yard site, because the halacha is that we're not allowed to eulogize on Hanukkah, but what we are allowed to do is to openly admire and even speak about our respect for the Maccabees. And that's true for the Maccabees of the actual story of Hanukkah. It's also true for the Maccabees of the modern era. I'm talking, of course, about the soldiers of the Israeli Defense Forces. And so this evening, I know source sheets are intimidating. I don't really plan to take that much time. I really just, the Moreskis asked if I could share a little bit, mini shir perhaps, of some learning together that we could do to commemorate Uriel's life and legacy. And it's not a eulogy, but I do think that what we learn is going to teach us something about maybe a little bit that we can do to learn about Uriel. And all of our learning is dedicated to the Iloi Nishmato for the ascent of his soul in heaven, and for the Neshamot of all the soldiers who died Al Kiddush Hashem defending the state of Israel. And in order to do that, I also wanted to, Rabbi and Rebbetzin Shpimon asked me to express their regrets that they were unable to be in attendance tonight in person. My wife also asked me to express her regrets that she was not able to make it tonight in person. Leaving all that aside for just a minute, I want to ask you a question. You know, all of us know that Hanukkah is a holiday of miracles. Hanukkah is a holiday of miracles. And if I were to ask you, you know what, let's say actually that I told you that there were 3 miracles of Hanukkah. Hanukkah has 3 miracles. What would you say that they are? Okay, the miracle of the oil, that's number 1. The military victory, the miracle of the military victory. The third one is actually really hard to figure out. And it's not your fault. When we talk about Hanukkah, we hardly ever mention the third miracle of Hanukkah. But there is a third miracle of Hanukkah. And I think that when we figure out what this third miracle of Hanukkah is, we'll be able to understand something important about Hanukkah, but also I think that we can learn something important about Uriel too. And so we have this question. Okay, what is the third miracle of Hanukkah? The first miracle is the oil. The second miracle is the military victory. What is the third miracle of Hanukkah? So let me ask you something. If you were looking for a description of the miracles of Hanukkah, where would you look? If you were looking for a source, a text that you could use to learn about the miracles of Hanukkah, where would you look? The book of Maccabees is a great option, yeah? What else? Al-Hanisim is a good option. The last answer you might give is the Gemara. The Gemara tells part of the story of the miracle of Hanukkah. But I think many of us, as Sharon mentioned, would think to look in the tefillah of Al-Hanisim. Al-Hanisim is something that we say in Shemona Esrei every day of Hanukkah. And Al-Hanisim is literally called Al-Hanisim because it describes the Nisim. It describes the miracles of Hanukkah. So if we want to know the answer to this question of what's the third miracle of Hanukkah, where would we look? This is softball, guys. In Al-Hanisim, okay? That's where we would look, in Al-Hanisim. So you have Al-Hanisim in front of you. Let's go through Al-Hanisim. How many miracles do you count in Al-Hanisim? How many miracles are explicitly mentioned in Al-Hanisim? You counting 4? So you have a miracle that I don't even know about. Okay? The truth is, we're not going to read it line by line. There is one miracle that is explicitly mentioned in Al-Hanisim. There's one miracle that's explicitly mentioned in Al-Hanisim. If you read Al-Hanisim, what's the miracle that it discusses? Right. It discusses the military victory of the Maccabees. And most of us have been saying Al-Hanisim for 8 days now. Tonight is the 8th night of Hanukkah, but we may not have noticed that if you actually look at Al-Hanisim, the miracle of the oil is actually completely missing. There is no mention of the miracle of the oil. What it does say at the end is that they lit the menorah, but there is no actual mention of the miracle that the oil lasted for 8 days. And so we started out by noting that there are 3 miracles. But when we look at Al-Hanisim, how many miracles are there? Just one. It seems like there's only one miracle of Hanukkah. And so we have to figure this out, right? Okay, first of all, what is the third miracle of Hanukkah that I kept alluding to? And second of all, why is the miracle of the oil missing from Al-Hanisim? That's why we lit this menorah. That's probably the most famous miracle associated with Hanukkah. Not there. It's not in Al-Hanisim. So those are our 2 questions. Does that make sense? Okay. There is one more question that I want to ask you, and it's as follows. Look at the last sentence of Al-Hanisim. If you look on the source sheet, I actually separated it by a paragraph. If you look at Al-Hanisim, you'll notice that the last paragraph of the Al-Hanisim begins with the Achar Kain, right? After they won, after the Maccabees basically conquered the temple, they went and they lit the menorah. The reason why the Achar Kain is separate in this version of the text, and if you have Sidurim at home, you might notice this, is because there are some communities who actually have the custom to leave that last line of Al Hanisim out. It actually doesn't exist in some manuscripts of Al Hanisim. And there was a famous rabbi, Rabbi David Abu Draham, who was one of the Spanish Rishonim. And the Abu Draham writes, in source number 2, V'hamona am enam omrim, v'achar kach ba'u vanecha. The masses have the custom to skip that line of Al Hanisim. We say it. If you came to shul or you davened at home, you probably said this version of Al Hanisim, but there was a time in history where most Jews actually did not say the Achar Kain. They skipped that last line in Al Hanisim. And he writes, V'nachon li omro, really you should say it, ki hu ikar hanes, because it is the essence of the miracle. So, this is really puzzling. What miracle is he talking about? Right? You read this line. What does it say? Afterwards, your sons entered the Holy of Holies. They cleaned your temple. They purified your sanctuary. And they kindled lights in the courtyard of your sanctuary. And designated these 8 nights of Hanukkah to thank and praise your name. Basically, the Maccabees, once they reached the temple, they did some housekeeping. And they lit the menorah. And he writes, that's the essence of the miracle. What miracle is he talking about? There is no miracle being mentioned here. The military victory is the 4 sentences that take place before this. The miracle of the oil is not actually mentioned. What is this third miracle of Hanukkah? And what miracle is the Abu Draham talking about? When he says, this last line, you got to say it, because if you don't say it, you're missing the essence of the miracle. What miracle is he talking about? It's all very, very confusing. And so just to crystallize here, and the time it took to ask these questions is much longer than the time it's going to take to give the answer. Number one, what are the 3 miracles of Hanukkah? We said that there was a third miracle. Number 2, why is the miracle of the oil missing from Al Hanisim? And number 3, the Abu Draham told us that this last sentence of Al Hanisim is the essence of the miracle. But what miracle is he talking about? Because it doesn't seem like there's actually any miracle being mentioned there at all. Those are our 3 questions. And as I mentioned, the answer is actually pretty short. In order to answer it, we just need to raise the famous difficulty of the Beis Yosef. Many of you probably have heard this question before. It's one of those famous, awkward, elephant-in-the-room type questions of Hanukkah. And the idea is basically as follows. We all know that when the Maccabees came to the temple and they found a jug of oil, there was only enough oil to last for how long? 1 day. Which means that Hanukkah, which celebrates the miracle, should really be how long? 7 days, right? If Hanukkah celebrates the miracle of the oil, but there was already enough oil for 1 day, then Hanukkah should really be how long? 7 days. And the Beis Yosef in source number 3 basically raises this difficulty. You can raise the following question. Lama kavu shmona yamim. Why did they establish an 8-day holiday? If Hanukkah commemorates, we have this beautiful menorah, Hanukkah commemorates the miracle of the oil. The miracle was a 7-day miracle because there was already enough oil to last for 1 day. Then why is there an 8th day of Hanukkah? Why do we celebrate 8 days of Hanukkah? Just by show of hands, how many people have heard this difficulty raised before? A few people, a bunch of people. Yeah, this is a famous question, the famous question of the Beis Yosef. There was actually a sefer published maybe 10 years ago called Ner L'Meya, which I believe contained over 500 answers to this question of the Beis Yosef. Somebody has too much free time. Answers to this question of the Beis Yosef. But it's here that I want to share with you an approach that I think can actually tie all of our questions together. And it's an answer given by the Sfas Emes. The Sfas Emes was Rabbi Yehuda Aryeh Leib Alter. He was one of the Hasidic masters. And he writes something beautiful. He writes that there was actually a miracle that took place on the first night of Hanukkah also. What was the miracle that took place on the first night of Hanukkah? Well, look at what he says, the last source on the page. Belel Achat, on the first night. Ma Nes Hayat Bo. We can ask, what miracle happened on the first night? Right? That we celebrate 8 nights of Hanukkah instead of 7. Because we know there was already enough oil to last for 8 nights. Basically the question of the Beis Yosef. And he says, Aval nireh, it seems to me, he al yedei shekayamu b'layla harishona, that the Maccabees bothered to get up that first night, mitzvat hadlakat hamenorah b'leiv shalim, that they managed to get up and to fulfill the lighting of the candles with a full heart. Bazeh zachu lanes. It was through that they merited the actual 8th or 7th night further miracle of the oil lasting for basically the entire week. In other words, there was a miracle that took place on the first night. What was the miracle that happened on the first night? It was that the Maccabees even bothered to light the menorah in the first place. That was the miracle in and of itself. The miracle of the first night of Hanukkah, the reason why we light 8 candles instead of 7, because again, the miracle of the oil was only 7 nights. The reason why we light 8 candles is for the miracle that took place on the first night. What miracle took place on the first night? That the Maccabees even bothered to search for oil and light the menorah in the first place. Can you imagine for a second, take a step back, and imagine for a second what it's like to be a Maccabee. You're fighting for your life. Your friends have died. We knew there were casualties. You're exhausted. Maybe you're injured. And you finally conquer the temple courtyard. And you're sitting there and you catch your breath, and your first thought is, we got to light the menorah. The resolve and the enthusiasm of the Maccabees is miraculous. That is a miracle. And so the Sfas Emes writes that is why we celebrate 8 nights of Hanukkah as a miracle. Even though the miracle of the oil was only for 7. Because the first night also had a miracle. It was the miraculous resolve of the Maccabees after a long and arduous battle that most of us would probably say, you know what? I'm going home to my family. You know, I'm going to take a water break. No. What are we going to do now? We're going to look for oil. We're going to light the menorah. And I think this ties together everything we actually learned. Because we started out by asking a question. What are the 3 miracles of Hanukkah? So now we have the answer. The first is the miracle of the oil. The second is what? Military victory. And the third miracle of Hanukkah is the resolve of the Maccabees, who had every excuse in the book to take a break and decided to persevere and to light the menorah. That type of resolve is miraculous. And our second question, why does Al-Hanisim leave out the miracle of the oil? Well, the Sfas Emes writes, the miracle of the oil was a reward for the first miracle, which was the resolve and the dedication of the Maccabees. And if you say the only reason we were Zocheh, the only reason we merited that miracle of the oil is because of the resolve of the Maccabees, well, then maybe it makes sense the miracle of the oil is missing. Because after all, the miracle of the oil is only an outgrowth of the first miracle, of the miracle of the Maccabees. And once you mention the first miracle, then maybe you've mentioned the main miracle of Hanukkah, and you're Yotze, your obligation that way. And now we can answer our third question, and our last question. With this I'll finish. Which was, remember that last sentence at the end? And the Abu Draham said, this is the essence of the miracle. This here, we looked at it, and we were like, what miracle is he talking about? There is no miracle being mentioned here. Well, what is he talking about? The sentence that we read describes exactly that the Maccabees decided to light the menorah in the first place, that they looked around and they cleaned up shop and they decided to light the menorah. It's referring to the third miracle of Hanukkah. It's referring to the miracle of the resolve of the Maccabees. And he says, remember this, he says, Ki zeh ikar hanes. This is the main miracle of Hanukkah. So just to summarize in one sentence, there were 3 miracles of Hanukkah: the oil, the victory, and the miraculous resolve of the soldiers after an extremely long and taxing battle and ordeal. And it was the third miracle, the resolve of the soldiers, that is actually, according to the Abu Draham, the essence of the holiday. And I think we need to take a moment just to realize how remarkable that is. These Maccabees were people who had every excuse in the book not to light the menorah. We're too tired, we're injured, we've just suffered losses, I want to see my family. And yet of all the things they could do, they said, you know what? We are going to do it. We are going to go and we're going to light the menorah. And I share this with you today because, first of all, our chayalim, our soldiers, have all displayed tremendous resolve these past few years. Many of them had families and had jobs and people they loved that they wanted to go back to. And yet they heeded the call of their people
Some of them even running back into conflict when they were technically exempt in order to do the right thing. And I share this also because of Uriel. There are many people in this room who knew Uriel much better than I did, but there was one trait that I think bridged all of the stories and the anecdotes that I heard about him. And that's that Uriel was a no excuses kind of guy. Countless times when other people would look away, Uriel stepped in to help. When other people were too tired, Uriel was full of resolve. And when Uriel had every excuse in the world to do the wrong thing, as you saw from this video, he even had a night off. That was the night he was killed. He somehow found within his heart the calling to do what is right. Uriel was a shining example of this most important miracle of Hanukkah, the no excuses resolve of the Maccabees. It was because of their decision to light the menorah, despite all of the stress and the pain and the exhaustion, that we merited to have a miracle of Hanukkah in the first place. And it was because of Uriel that so many people in this world had a friend, a guarantor, and a lifeline in their time of need. That is the miracle of Hanukkah, and that is also the miracle of Uriel. May his memory be a tremendous blessing, and may we be inspired by him to continue the work that he left off, and use his example to build our people, to build our community, and to build our world into something that is worthy of having Hashem's presence rest within it once again. Thank you.
Thank you to Lower Merion community and to Rabbi Cohen for joining us to honor our son Uriel's memory. Your support keeps our son alive. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you in Israel. When you arrive to Israel, you are invited to visit Mount Herzl to pay your respects to Uriel and all the other heroes laying next to him. A special thanks for my family in Philadelphia, Hilly and Margalit Moreski, my beautiful niece. Thank you so much for all you do in honor of my beautiful angel, Uriel. I'll try to say it in English, though it's very hard for me to express my feelings in English. But on the 8th day of Hanukkah, it's Uriel's birthday. We are going to be all the family together to remember him and to celebrate his life, not death. We want to honor him with the stories, funny stories about him, not sad stories, to remember who he was as our older son. We miss him so much. We want to hug him, we want to smell him, we want to touch him. So in this day, we just celebrate the day he came to our life and made me Ima. I wish I could hear Ima one more time, sorry. תודה רבה על כל מה שאתם עושים, קהילת מריון. Thank you so much.
באמת תודה רבה. Thank you for really what you're doing, and you know what you're doing for what you did for all those soldiers. So thank you so much. And I told my aunt and my uncle about it, and they felt that they really want to say it personally to you guys. Thank you so much, Rabbi Cohen. Thank you for your really moving reflection and connection to Uriel's character so beautifully, to the Torah. I know if Uriel was listening from above, likely feeling like a bit shy about all that tension, because he was such a modest soul. Rabbi, we're truly honored by your presence and your wisdom tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you. I want to introduce a man that needs no introduction. It's my loving husband, Hili Moreski. Beyond being captain and commander in the IDF Medical Corps, Hili was a very dear friend to Uriel. They were living together in Givat Shmuel, and when I first met Hili, they spent lots of time sharing stories about the army. And Shabbat songs, we were doing a lot of, we were spending a lot of time together. Hili is now going to play a song, it's a tribute song, it's called Livkot Lecha, to try for you. I'm going to hang those copies, and I'm inviting you to sing along, and whoever doesn't know the song can just follow the chorus.
All right, thanks very much. While Marley's handing out the song sheets, it's really accustomed in Sahal at every tekes that we would end with a song, something that you can hum in your head on the way home, and you can think about the wisdom that you're able to absorb. And I'd like to just share that with you. This is a song that is very appropriate for Uriel. It's by Aviv Geffen. It's called Livkot Lecha. You should have your handout sheets. While Margaret's handing out the sheets, I'm just going to teach you the chorus so we can sing the chorus together. Okay? So the chorus goes like this. Again. לנצח אחי, נזכור אותך תמיד, וניפגש בסוף, אתה יודע. Okay. So I'll sing the song, and when you hear that song, לנצח אחי, you guys know all the chorus. So, do you want to try one more time to do it together? All right, one more time. לנצח אחי, נזכור אותך תמיד, וניפגש בסוף, אתה יודע. Forever my brother, right, I'll remember you, and in the end, we'll meet up, all right? אני הולך לבכות לך, תהיה חזק למעלה. Everyone. לנצח אחי, נזכור אותך תמיד, וניפגש בסוף, אתה יודע. ויש לי חברים, אבל גם הם קווים, אל מול אורך המשגע. Beautiful. כשעצובים הולכים לים לבן, הים מלוח, וזה עצוב שאפשר ציור להחזיר, אבל לא גרוע. Everyone. לנצח אחי, נזכור אותך תמיד, וניפגש בסוף, אתה יודע. ויש לי חברים, אבל גם הם קווים, אל מול אורך המשגע. כמו הגלים, אנחנו מתנפצים אל המזח, אל החיים. כמו הגלים, אנחנו מתנפצים אל המזח, אל החיים. אני הולך לבכות singing along. I think that's it. Tom Tech is Uriel. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you so much to Tzvi Board for helping us today.
Just the drill. I was trying to see how you'd react. You feel, thank you.
He says he doesn't have it. Faye says he doesn't have it.